Want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Hey.
Why this beat so cold?
We will make America proud again. And you try to kill our citizens. We will make America wealthy again. And yes, together, we will make America great again.
Controversy, criticism, and a father now demanding answers. CBS Texas learned last night that Karmelo Anthony will get his diploma. Anthony is the Frisco High School student accused in the deadly stabbing of Austin Metcalf. Well, Metcalf's father now wants to confront the district superintendent about this decision. Our JD Miles was the only local reporter there. He brings us the story tonight.
He says he just wants answers, but when Jeff Metcalf arrived at Frisco ISD's administration building, this is what he got.
Hi there, can I help you?
Yeah, I'd like to come in and speak to someone, please.
I'm sorry, we're not allowed to let anyone in without an appointment.
The father of Austin Metcalf wanted to hear directly from Frisco ISD Superintendent Mike Waldrop what he heard from media reports on Tuesday. Those reports are that Karmelo Anthony will get his diploma later this month, despite being under house arrest and charged with murdering Metcalf's son, Austin.
I've been stonewalled. Said, I understand the protocol. They said I have to make an appointment, which I did.
It was 6 weeks ago today when what authorities describe as an altercation between Austin and Karmelo led to one 17-year-old pulling a knife and stabbing the other 17-year-old in the chest at a track meet inside a Frisco ISD stadium. Anthony's parents, who claim their son was just defending himself, asked Frisco ISD to allow him to get his high school diploma. Sources say an agreement was reached that would allow that.
So I'm just curious on how they arrived at it when I read their own policy manual about what it states for mandatory expulsion and also graduation.
In a statement to CBS News Texas, a representative for the Anthony family tells us, "We cannot and will not speak about the agreement made with Frisco ISD that remains confidential and legally protected. However, it is truly a shame that anyone would go so far as to threaten a graduation ceremony or try to ruin a day that should be filled with joy, pride, and accomplishment for so many students and their families." Frisco ISD superintendent posted a message on social media last night, making it clear that Anthony will not be allowed to attend a graduation ceremony. No student who commits a serious criminal offense is permitted to participate in the graduation ceremony. But sources say Anthony's GPA was high enough to withstand missing the last month of school and still meet the requirements for a diploma. The school district tells CBS News Texas, if the student is expelled, they may continue their education through the Juvenile Justice Alternative Education Program. In cases where a student has completed all graduation requirements and is facing expulsion, Frisco ISD typically gives the option of early graduation instead of placement at JJAEP. The controversy has resulted in a new online petition to award Metcalf an honorary diploma next year, when he would have graduated along with his twin brother.
The fact of the matter is it's not going to bring my son back. I mean, it's a nice gesture, but in the long run, my son doesn't get a diploma. So there's part of me that says maybe Mr. Anthony shouldn't get one either.
In Frisco, JD Miles, CBS News, Texas.
Metcalf, the father of Austin Metcalf, his child, he filed a complaint with with Texas because that school, which is probably some liberal school or some liberal principal, allowed and was scared of the backlash, allowed Karmelo Anthony to graduate. He shouldn't have been able to graduate. He should have been completely expelled from the school. If you're expelled, you don't get to graduate. He should have had to go to a new school if he wanted to. He shouldn't have been able to go to that school and graduate. And just imagine the memory of his father that this boy got to graduate like nothing's going on and nothing happened. And all they didn't allow him to do was not go to the graduation. That is so horrible. And the superintendent should be in trouble. The parents should be upset that they let a criminal graduate like nothing happened, like he didn't murder somebody.
Don't get to use a deadly weapon to kill someone that shoved you. And it doesn't even look like it was much of a shove, right? And it's absurd to me, and it is absolutely race bigotry that is driving everyone. I'd say 99.9% of the people defending Karmelo.
Well, folks, we are officially at the halfway point of justice, as none other than Karmelo Anthony has officially been charged. Now, first and foremost, I think it's important to know that not only has he been charged for the crimes at hand, or alleged crimes at hand, but he has been charged as an adult, which means he will be doing adult time if convicted of these charges. So, further information that has come out is that he has been charged with of the first degree, which only makes sense because, according to his own testimony on the day of, that's exactly what it was. This is not a case of self-defense. This is essentially a case of whether or not that video footage and other evidence will lead to what most of us already know. What that also means is that if he is indeed convicted, he will likely be doing 25 to life. Now, some people may think that this is unfair. This is a teenager who just simply made a mistake. But the reality is this. This is a young man who made a choice that unfortunately may lead to him spending the rest of his life in prison. And I hope this can stand as a cautionary tale, as opposed to another opportunity to act a damn victim. It's a message for y'all, BLM. This is not the victim. The victim is no longer here with us.
Amount of money raised for Anthony, people are fed up and realize where the crime is coming from and who's committing them. It's also taken into account who found this country and the people that currently reside here and have a culture in this country longer than anybody else. They and we are finally starting to wake up and realize the real problem. And that's why you're seeing Shiloh Hendricks get $1 million for calling a kid a word at the park and then getting massive public backlash because cancel culture is essentially over and we're not having it anymore. This is a two-tier system that celebrates diversity and promotes victim mentality. Like I said, he was charged with first-degree murder, likely carry a sentence of at least 25 years. I'd be willing to bet some liberal president down the road will pardon him. That's just the way it usually goes. For now, justice is served. Hopefully we can bring back Alcatraz and Anthony can have the very first day.
Murder.
Yeah.
Why do you think the media is shaping this as self-defense?
The media need to, they have to always use the divide and conquer narrative. Black and white, us against them, police against. So they always have to have something to divide people. This really isn't about black or white, homie. Man, these are kids. And neither one of those kids have the kind of hate that we think racists have in their heart to kill each other. Homie, it's about right or wrong. And no matter what people think, it's never okay to kill anybody, no matter what they're doing to you. There's always other ways to settle conflicts and issues rather than using violence. Our culture thinks violence is the only thing that solves issues. You can't justify taking a weapon to school when it says there's no weapon supposed to be at school. You can't justify it. No matter what's happening at school, you cannot justify, I brought this weapon to school to save the day or to protect myself. The school have things in place for you to be protected. A resource school officer, a teacher, a principal, a counselor. There's so many other barriers that you can use other than taking matters into your own hands and taking a weapon to school and somebody end up losing their life, another kid. So, yeah, nah, homie, I don't think this kid needs to spend the rest of his life in prison, but he has to go to jail for taking somebody's life. This clearly wasn't self-defense.
Exactly.
Boy, we got some huge breaking news and updates on this Karmelo Anthony, Austin Metcalf case once again. And, hey, you're not a hero, son. You're not a celebrity. You are a murderer, a killer. And I believe your parents honestly are thinking right now that they could have done probably a better job. You let them down. And that's, that's life. You got to live and die behind your decisions. Rewards and consequences, positives and negatives come from your decisions. Right from wrong. And you was dead wrong. And shame on the BLM scam, the black community, black people that come on here calling me this, and that. I don't care. Say what you want. Right from wrong, common sense. And, you know, maybe if there was, you know, there's always a lot of things you can put into perspective of, you know, maybe this thing probably could have been prevented from a lot of things, you know, even if the parents weren't too involved. But we always tell our parents, continue to be amazing leaders, mentors, right from wrong, common sense, be involved, check on your kids, check on their mental health, check on them. How I was raised, a lot of y'all know I'm very transparent. Shout out to my parents. Rest in peace to Rick Sr. My parents say we are not raising thugs in this house. And some people honestly don't realize that they are raising thugs. But parents are not, right from wrong. And this young man know he's in the wrong. He's not a hero. This wasn't self-defense. Come on here with whatever you want. But you come on here with that crap. But this isn't some celebrity, some hero, some whatever they're praising him up to be. It wasn't self-defense. I send my prayers, love, and condolences to the Metcalf family. Again, the family is also being attacked. It's a disgrace. People have no sympathy for the loss of life, you know, attacking the family, you know, and this father is outraged and has, again, attempted to, another attempt on the district, on the school of why he's receiving, to be able to graduate, get his diploma and all that stuff. So we're going to get into a lot into today's video. If you're new here, join the family. We keep it real, man. No sugarcoat, no beating around the bush. I got a lot of love for everybody. It's one love to the human race. Don't give up what your skin color is or what you look like. We're wishing the best in everybody's life, man. One love to the human race. And that's how it is. That's how it's going to be on this channel for me until the end. Until we clock out of here in this fast time travel. That's how it's going to be to the end. And I encourage you to spread love. Love to your neighbor. The little things, man. But there's so much hatred. We're so divided, especially in this country. People have black fatigue. People are tired of the foolishness. People are tired of the ignorance, the stupidity. People that have no common sense, that don't know right from wrong. Loud, ghetto, ignorant. People are sick of this crap. And this is why you're seeing people now post this whole black fatigue thing in the last couple of months and why it's going viral. People are sick of this crap. And when you call the crap out, all of a sudden you've become racist. I'm a racist now because we're just sick of the foolishness. We got to do better, man. We have to do better. You know? You know, I'm sick of all this. Oh, support me because I'm black. It's black owned. It's black this. It's black that. I don't care if you're black, white, Asian, Hispanic. I don't care. Is it good? Is it Are you qualified? Are you qualified for the job? I don't care about your if you're black because you own a business or a restaurant. Is the food actually good? You know, did you prepare well? Did you do this well? Did you cook it good? You know, I don't care if you're black. I don't care what you do in your bedroom. I'm pissed off in the times that we live in, man. I really am, y'all. And everything's about race. With the media, everything's about race, turning us against each other. Black versus white, white versus black. People are sick of this crap, man. Dark times. The dark times, we're living in the darkest times yet, man. Right here. You and I are living in it. All right, we are back. Look a little different, huh? Yes, indeed, family. I love you too. All right. We are back, man. Let's jump into this, though.
Market. Father of Austin Metcalf makes a desperate last-ditch attempt to stop high school, rewarding Karmelo Anthony. And that is...
How do y'all feel about that? Let me know in the comment section, man. You know, and also for our parents and our future parents, put yourself in these shoes. Let me know how you feel. What would you do? Would you be doing the same thing that this father is doing, that you've seen early in the video, that you've seen early on the stream? Would you be doing the same thing if you lost your son this way, your kid, your loved one this way? Let me know in the comment section, man. Keep it real with me, you guys. You know?
Of course, what this is, that's what the entire thing is. It's a reward. The graduation is ceremonial, and they're only doing it because the huckster in front of Next Generation Action Network threatened to protest the school and call him the scary R word. Many are pointing to the principal being a black woman, just like the judge who went lenient on Karmelo. That's probably part of it too. The father of teen football star who lost his life to Carmelo Anthony because Carmelo Anthony couldn't regulate his emotions, he has now filed a formal complaint about Centennial High School awarding Carmelo with his diploma, despite being, having taken his son's life. Anthony, 18, is alleged. There's no allegation here. He admitted it. What are we talking about? The sickening attack has since sparked toxic culture war as some rode in behind the attacker and raised $500,000. The spokesperson for Next Generation Action Network, who is a Timu, who's that other race grifter? Timu Al Sharpton, has confirmed that Jeffrey has challenged the school's decision to award his diploma despite him confessing to the horrific crime. Dominique Alexander continued, now you have a father filing a complaint to the Texas Education Agency. It's unclear what the filing means in practice, but it is understood to be one of the few ways the grieving father can even contest the graduation. Now, I think people should peacefully protest outside of the school. I think the students of this school should refuse to walk at graduation because this is outrageous. We know why Frisco ISD is doing this. It's because they don't want to, they don't want to be dealing with a large group of rowdy individuals that show up on command from Next Generation Action Network loser guys organization. Frisco ISD had wanted to expel Anthony over the incident. A student nearby, an expulsion would have automatically meant they would not graduate. But hours after the dramatic press conference last month, Alexander said the school reversed the move. So you get expelled for fighting or cheating or stealing or any of these things, but you can take another student's life and will not be expelled from the school. That's the message they're saying. Now, a lot of people are saying, well, he's going to spend 10 years or 20 years in prison. No, he won't. Carmelo Anthony will not serve more than 5 years in prison, if at all. I'm telling you right now. This young man will not serve more than 5 years in prison.
What do y'all think?
I will still be doing YouTube videos when he gets released from prison. I'm sure of it. And I will be covering the outrage when he gets early release because he was just a good boy and didn't do nothing wrong. It is understood that Anthony will not be allowed to participate in the ceremony or walk on the stage as he remains under house arrest. Frisco ISD has declined to comment. Alexander said last week, we are in arrangements of doing an early graduation. Now, remember this because I'm about to debunk it. An early graduation, they have agreed to allow him to graduate. They were literally trying to expel him, period. He should be expelled. What are we talking about? You took another kid's life. What are we even talking about? This is just in this racially overly sensitive world. If Carmelo Anthony was white, it is my opinion that he obviously would have been expelled and he would not have been able to graduate and he would not have had his bail reduced. If Austin Metcalf was white and he took Carmelo's life, the situation was reversed, he would not be getting a reduced bond. He would not be graduating. I 100% believe that. Leave a like on the video if you agree. Anthony, of course, fled the track scene after the horrific incident, leaving Austin to pass away. He was arrested and he confessed, I did it. Now, I can understand if the details were murky and the school wanted to say, hey, look, innocent until proven guilty. We weren't there. We don't know. But he confessed. He confessed. Then, of course, a black female judge lowered his bond from $1 million to $250,000, of which he didn't need anyway because he's getting free legal representation and he had already raised more than $500,000 for taking the life of a white kid, which is mostly why people were donating. During the bond hearing, Anthony's father testified about their financial hardship, even though they were living in $1 million home, and their wife and the mom was a stay-at-home mom. Nothing wrong with being a stay-at-home mom, but if you're having financial hardship, both people work. That's how this works. They, of course, reported on the $900,000 home in the gated community where they lived. The Anthonys were renting while claiming to be poor. Now, the rent on $1 million home has got to be $4 or $5 grand a month minimum, I would say. One neighbor, of course, didn't want them. My kids were in track. Your tents for your school. You don't sit under another school's tent. This is not done because everyone leaves their stuff there while they're out at events. So it's for security. You don't go into another school's tent because things end up disappearing. Now, remember how I said earlier about, let's talk about this. Of course, the news websites that cater to the black community are saying this is an outrage. Karmelo Anthony finishes with 3.7 GPA, but he can't attend his graduation. They're literally whining that he can't attend. Boy, I'm telling you, can you even imagine if this kid was walking? I mean, I would pay to see that. You know what? I think he should have to walk. If you're going to give him his graduation, then make him walk that stage. And that's the only way he's going to get it. Because I imagine there is going to be a chorus of boos and expletives thrown that I think is totally in bounds. If this kid wants his diploma, don't let him get it, in some back alley. Make sure he walks that stage in front of everybody.
Big bad killer.
It makes sense.
Big bad killer, big bad knife. Want to be the big bad want to be a big bad grown man with your big bad knife? Killer, man, a murderer. And this is it's actually sad. I'm telling you, with the entire system, the school system we have, it's just sick, man. It's a disgrace on what's taking place in these districts at these schools. And it's not just high school, it's even worse in elementary, middle school, every age, every cutoff. It's just terrible, man. And a lot of them are just liberal boards. No common sense.
To me, I mean, the idea, the fact that these idiots are whining and complaining that he doesn't get to walk is bonkers. It's absolute bonkers. And remember I said that his graduation, he was set up to graduate early. Well, local reporter Sarah Fields has been doing good work on this. Requirements for early graduation and the ability to receive a diploma. According to this, Karmelo would have needed approval from the administration and a judge. The superintendent lied to Jeffrey Metcalf when he told him in the Monday meeting that it was not up to the school administration to make a decision. Early graduation requirements, Karmelo Anthony case. File early graduation requests between May 1st and 2nd and December 1st and 3rd. December 1st of third year. You must complete the foundation program, plus get an endorsement, plus DLA. Required approvals, parent, counselor, administrator. I graduated early, but I don't remember if I needed to. I don't remember if my parents had to sign off on that. I have a feeling they had to. Although I was 18 by then. I have to remember. Actually. And then you have to have an attendance law, must attend at least 90% of class days, which was probably unlikely given that he missed the last half day of school, the half year of school. They let him graduate early after taking the life of a fellow student. I got expelled from high school for 6 months for drinking one shot of Bailey's Irish Cream on a trip and then telling on myself. Perhaps teach someone that a diploma is earned would be a start. He can earn his diploma in prison. So the superintendent lied. The superintendent lied about not having any control over this. Of course they lied. You know, and Jeffrey Metcalf continues to end up being the, people are painting him as some sort of aggressor because he does, are painting him as mean for not wanting Karmelo to get his diploma. This guy buried his son. He's never going to see his son again. His son's never going to get his diploma. So maybe it's reasonable for him to not want this the guy that took his son's life to graduate. There's all sorts of updates on this. Actually, the Next Generation Action Network guy held a rally the other day and 0 people attended. We're going to talk about that probably Tuesday or Wednesday. There's a whole bunch of new news around this case, so make sure you subscribe to the channel and you leave a like on this video so you never miss. You know, this is their statement. We are proud to share that Karmelo will graduate and receive his high school diploma and that the academic achievements will not be disrupted. As the largest social justice organizer in North Texas, big deal. That's like being the smartest kid on a short bus. NGAN has worked diligently alongside the Anthony's legal team to bring about this fair and student-focused resolution. What student is this focusing on? It seems to me that the student being focused on is the one that took the life of another student, and not all the students that didn't commit that heinous act.
Rewarding a killer.
They should absolutely expel him. He should not be getting a diploma. He can get it in prison. This is an outrage. I hope you were informed by this video. If you were, please do.
Yeah. What do y'all think? Let me know, man. We know who has the final say. And again, send my prayers, love, and condolences to the Metcalf family. And especially that father, man, that is putting up a fight right now. You know. We're living, I'm telling you, we're living in such pathetic, sad, and just insane dark times, man. And when it comes to these school districts, these, you know, it's just only getting worse, man. This is why the homeschool numbers are up. People are pulling their kids out of public school. This is why. You know, it's terrible at the elementary. It's terrible at the middle schools. It's just terrible. High school, terrible. And watch all what takes place from this. Just watch how this all plays out, man. But we know who has the final say, and I do hope that this kid gets exactly what he got coming for him, man. You know, you got to live and die behind your decisions. Rewards, consequences, positives, negatives come from your decisions. Parents, we have to be more involved. We have to be there. We have to check on our kids. Be involved. Right from wrong. Common sense. Continue to be a great leader and mentor. But even if we remove the parents from this, it all comes down from right from wrong. And at 17 years old, majority of us know what right from wrong is at 17. There shouldn't have been a weapon at a track meet, on school property. You can't justify it. I'm sorry. And I think because he didn't want to use these two right here. I'd have been pretty happy if he would have just pulled these two out. Because this, when I was fighting in school and used to be a troublemaker myself, before I straightened up and my parents, whooped my butt and said, we are not raising thugs in this house. And I got hit upside the head. I had to learn the hard way, but I learned. They straightened me out. Shout out to my parents. Rest in peace to Rick Sr. But when I was, I was in there fighting for my life and we was being little bad troublemakers, we pulled these bad boys out. Boom, boom. Bled a kid nose. I thought I was going to jail that day. I thought I was going to be in big trouble when I hit that kid and his nose started bleeding. True story. I wouldn't lie to you. A true story. My heart, I remember that to this day. My heart was racing so fast. But that kid got up, wiped it off, and we went back to class. Yeah, true story. But I really do hope this kid gets this young man gets what he got coming, man. But let me know what y'all think. And, comment down below. I really want you guys to be real like you've been these last couple of videos. Put yourself in the victim's family shoes and Austin Metcalf's father's shoes. Put yourself in Jeff's shoes, and give me a beautiful comment down below, man. But these schools, this district ought to be ashamed of itself. And it's not just this district and this school. It's a whole bunch of them. And this is why the numbers are where they were at. The Department of Education. I mean, this is why all this stuff that has came out, and why these districts, the schools have just been an absolute disgrace, failure, disgusting things taking place. It's all happened in these schools, man. But anyways, I love y'all. Y'all have an amazing rest of y'all week. We are rocking and rolling, man. I'll catch y'all on the next one.